I am Deanda, and today I want to share with you my experience so far with teaching students who are full-time remote, as well as I have a hybrid student and a student who is full-time face-to-face. So it's been interesting to say the least. I just finished my first full week of school. Today's Saturday, and so this past week was that. Today is the 29th of August. And my school started on the 18th of August. I'm a second grade teacher and I teach at a small private Christian school. So this is gonna be my peaks and pits of teaching during a pandemic. And quick sidebar, I got peaks and pits from Kim Kardashian. I used to love watching many years ago Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and one day they were sitting down for dinner and they were just talking about like their peaks and pits of the day, and I thought that was such a cool thing that like something so wholesome could come from trash TV, you know? And so then I started doing like, this is when I first got married, so about 7 years ago I started doing like peaks and pits with my husband, and not every day, but we would sometimes talk about like our peaks and pits of the day or peaks and pits of the week. So bring it full circle. That's where I got it from. That's what we're going to be doing right now. And if you hear that noise in the background, that is my 3-year-old son just living his best life. So I have a little list right here. And because like it's been a lot. Our first day of instruction was Tuesday, August the 18th. That was a short week. We had, and everyone, like all students were completely remote during that short week. We taught Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday was a planning day. Just from the from jump, it has been something. So I actually missed the first 3 days of pre-planning. Like when everyone's at school setting up their rooms, I was not able to do that. And my school moved out of our building this past school year. So like we had to, at the end of the spring, we had to like go in, box everything up, clear the rooms out completely, because we're moving into a new building, which is not ready yet. So, but like I'm excited about it. It's like being built out. We're in a temporary location. And so like my colleagues are all setting up their classrooms and everything. I don't even know what my classroom looks like because I just was not able to get in when everyone else was supposed to. And that is because of COVID. So pre-planning was Tuesday the 18th. On Sunday the 16th, my husband got an email saying someone that works at his company had been exposed, and he doesn't stay like stationary. He kind of travels every day to different locations. And so he happened to be at the location during the window of like when the person tested positive, which was a week prior. So like Sunday he went and got tested, and I thought that his results were going to come back quickly because he went to the same place to get tested that I went. He got tested on Sunday the 16th. On the 13th, several days before I got tested, because my job suggested, you know, go get tested before you guys come back for pre-planning. Let's just keep everyone safe. So I got tested on Wednesday. Saturday, my results came back negative. You know, I'm like, praise God, I'm well, everything is good, getting ready to go into work. I get my results of negative back on Saturday. He gets that email on Sunday and goes and gets tested, and I think that his results are going to come back so quickly because mine did, and we got tested at the same place. And mind you, I felt bad for him because he had a really busy week ahead, and like he gets that news on Sunday, so now he has to quarantine. Never connected the two dots that because he had been potentially exposed, so had I. In my mind, and like in my actions in preparing and getting ready to go back to work. But it wasn't until Monday night, because even Monday afternoon, like I text my principal like, hey, what's the dress code for tomorrow? But then Monday night, as I'm getting ready to go to work and like he's not preparing to go to work, it dawns on me like, maybe if he's quarantining, you should be as well. Let's not expose potentially all your coworkers to COVID. And yeah, it was like that night as I was getting ready to come in, Monday night, when it dawned on me. So Tuesday morning, like early, I reach out to my principals, let them know what's going on. So I'm just at home waiting for him to get his results back. And I honestly kept going back and forth in my mind, like, do I say something or not say something? Because I had just gotten tested and gotten a negative result back. But just the timeline of it, and like, it was so weird that if I was going to be in error, I was going to err on the safe side. Okay, so like I just couldn't deal with, because I want to go and get my classroom ready, that like I'm now potentially putting someone in harm's way, which I thought that I might not be because, again, my test had just come back as negative. But like, I wasn't sure. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I missed all those days of pre-planning in the new building, new classroom. Friday morning, his results come in and I get to go in to work. Praise God, like everything is good. So I pretty much set up my classroom in one day. And granted, it was easier to do because my roster was slashed almost in half. The previous school year, I started off with 17 students. This year, I only have 10 students on my roster. And so that's one of the pits. COVID has negatively impacted my school because a lot of parents have like pulled their kids from our school due to COVID. I don't know like everyone's exact reasoning why, but I'm thinking maybe parents feel like if it's going to be remote anyway, maybe do, you know, public school for free. But yeah, so that's one pit. The peak though is that like, y'all, the turnaround time on setting my room up was amazing. And it kind of makes me feel like I wasted a lot of time the other years, like, should I do this? Should I do that? Like everything perfectly trying to fit this theme. And I was like, look, I have to get my stuff up and ready and going. So I went in not even having a plan. Honestly, it's my first time doing that. Whenever I would try to plan during the summer, like I just couldn't get into it because there were so many unknowns. I did all my curriculum mapping because we had to make pacing guides for every subject over the summer. So I did that, but trying to do a theme, really the nitty gritty of planning and where am I gonna have my bulletin boards and how am I gonna lay out my room, I couldn't do any of that because none of us were able to see our location until we walked in, or until they walked in that Tuesday for pre-planning. So, and actually we were supposed to be able to get into the building on the Saturday before pre-planning, so like we could start bringing things in if we wanted to, but the condition that they had left the building in, the school who was there prior, like was not good. So our administration needed like a couple days to kind of clean things out and get it ready for us to come in. So yeah, like everything was a mystery and I was like, I am not about to stress myself out and go gray. Ooh, my hair's kind of sticking out. I'm not about to stress myself out trying to like figure out things that I can't. And I'm glad that I didn't, because all that would have been out the window with only having like Friday and Monday to set up my room. So by Friday, I'm sorry guys, this is like, I've been talking already 8 minutes, but this is my experience, and if nothing else, like if nobody watches it, at least I will in 80 years, should the Lord tarry, be able to sit down and watch and be like, yeah, remember when that whole like COVID thing happened and changed the world? So it's a historical record, if nothing else. But if I had like sat down and planned for all this stuff, like it would have been out the window because I only had a little bit of time in my room. So by Friday, my room was pretty much 80% together, which is not bad at all. I kind of have a theme. I have exactly the same stuff that I used last year. And it's been my goal this year to spend like as little money as possible, which I'm glad to say I've done. I bought 4 packs of border from the Dollar Tree. I bought Dollar Tree brand command hooks, maybe a couple of the little cube bins, the cloth ones. I bought 2 green ones of those. And that's honestly been it. So doing pretty well. I would like to get a monitor for my classroom to make the whole Zoom situation easier, but doing good with not spending much, because in December our new location is going to be ready. And so it's kind of like whenever you go to a new location or whenever you move somewhere, like there's just certain things you have to buy to fit that space in particular. So I really don't want to spend anything on this space where I am now. If I spend something, I want it to be directly related to instruction. Now that like all that background has been laid, let me get to the list of my peaks and pits. My first peak is that it feels safe without lots of students in the classroom. I have 2 students who come face to face. So I have 1 student who comes every single day, and I've not seen that student yet. I believe there was a little miscommunication on when school actually begins, and so hopefully I will see that child on Monday in a couple days. And another thing, like all my students who are in my class this year are returning students. So they were at our school last year, so there's a little bit of a rapport. I know all the students, or at least I don't know them, but I at least know who they are. Some of them I know better than others. That kind of helps. I think it's really cool. It's the first year that I've never had any brand new students before. Yeah, it feels safe without lots of students in the classroom. So I have the one who comes every day who has not been here yet, and then one who comes only on Mondays and Wednesdays. So really like only 2 students who come every single day. And parents, the way my school is doing it is like parents will be able to opt into a different learning modality at the end of every quarter. So we'll see like if I get more as the year progresses. And the pit to that is, though, even though like it feels really safe without a lot of kids in the classroom, it's not good because we're a private school and our enrollment has declined, which I mentioned already. Another peak is that only having 2 students face to face theoretically like should be pretty easy breezy, right? Which like honestly it kind of has been, especially since it's only been 1 there. But the pit to that is I feel so bad for my 1 student who has been with me on Monday and Wednesday because it's lonely. What kid wants to come to school and be the only kid in the class? Nobody wants that. And every time he comes, there will be someone else there. But my student who comes every single day on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, that student will be the only one in the class. So parents who were like, and everyone, kids need to get back to school and they need things to be normal. In public schools and a lot of schools, yeah, like most kids won't be the only one, but it's just not the same. Like, it's not the same. The other one is that my schedule is pretty great for the days when I don't have any students at all in my classroom, which again, hopefully next week that will change because we have lunch from 11:06 to 11:33 and then recess from 11:33 to 12:08. So that's like an hour, 2-minute of like a full break, which is really nice. It helps me get stuff done when I'm the only one in there. But the pit to that is that's like my last break of the day. So like from 12 to 3 is just full on instruction for the whole rest of the day. No more afternoon breaks. And that's because I have PE first 20 minutes of the morning. Music is 20 minutes after PE ends. And then we have snack right after that and then lunch. So I have a lot of breaks in the morning, but they're not spread out throughout the day. Oh no, my camera's about to die. Before it does though, I want to show my shirt. Today is my first day ever wearing it. It says that it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. One of my students actually gave this to me as a gift 2 years ago, and today's my first time wearing it. Moving on, we are still doing packets. My school is doing packets during the spring, and we're not really using a learning management system, which I think we just got the go ahead to use Google Classroom, which I have no idea how to do. Like, I'll have to learn all of that. But we're doing packets and it takes a lot. It takes so much to like get those packets done. On Friday, last week Friday, I was at school until literally 7 o'clock in the evening getting my packets done. So this weekend I'm going to be working to get ahead. Like my packet for the upcoming week, the parents is already done. The parents are going to pick that up on Sunday, but like at the school, they'll be picking it up at the school. But I have to get ahead because this packet is like not going to be the stress and never ending gray hairs of me. It's just not. I'm not about to be defeated by a daggone packet of 2nd grade schoolwork, okay? Another peak is that my school is pretty much taking the protocols seriously. I know I've seen on the news and some just from like hearsay that there are some schools even locally that are not. But I will say like at my school, teachers are really good about wearing their masks. Students are good about wearing their masks. Even my 1 student who comes, you know, and things like the protocols are being followed. Also, shout out to the new cleaning team at my school. We have a like new team who's coming in and they do a bomb job of cleaning, y'all. Like seriously, really, really good. And so I'm happy about that. Another peak to this whole virtual teaching thing is the mute button, y'all. The mute button. When things start getting a little noisy, you just hold up my little sign from Kindergarten Smorgasbord that says mute, and we just keep it moving. But the pit to that though is when students are trying to unmute, it takes forever. And then sometimes if they forget to unmute, then it takes even longer. And in the spring, I think my settings are different now. In the spring, like I was able to mute and unmute the students myself, which is really fast, but I'm not able to do that now. So if you have like any insight on that, drop a comment below, help a sister out, help a fellow teacher out, you know, whatever. Another peak was that like at the very beginning, I was like, you know what, we're going to be able to breeze through the content, like with not having so many transitions and breaks and things like that during the day, like you would have in person. But the pit to that is like, I feel kind of like I have no idea where my students truly are. It's like during a normal school year, I'm assessing from like the first day. I'm paying attention to students, like what books are they going for, how are they writing, what's their handwriting like. I'm listening in on them reading, and I just like, I have not been able to do any of that. So I kind of just feel like I don't have a good gauge on where my students are. And then we were taking an assessment yesterday, and one of my students was like, I don't know how to do this, Ms. Brown, can I go downstairs and get my mom? And I'm like, well, no, for this one, like, I just want you to do it by yourself. And it's just like, it's hard to know exactly where students are, especially like on things where, or like if you're doing an assessment or you're just doing classwork in general, and then like you see students like they keep looking up to their parent, and it's like when they keep looking up like that, and you see them like kind of that engaged look in their eyes, it's like, okay, so like maybe mom or dad is talking to you right now, or like I feel like I've never felt so much before as a teacher, like I just don't know where my students are. If you teach too, like leave me a comment. How are you feeling about like, what kind of pulse do you have on where your kids are? By now I would have DRA'd, like I only have 10 students, so obviously I could have DRA'd my entire class and known like their exact reading level. But again, like I just don't know. There is a growth assessment, like an online growth assessment for the new reading program that we have. My school has purchased Into Reading, which so far I do like it a lot better than the reading program we were using before, which was Foundations and Frameworks. But I need to get like all my kids set up on their like the online platforms for the different curriculum that we have, and like get that info out to the parents. So I'll be working on that this week. Another pit is figuring out how to do small group instruction. Like I know there's the breakout rooms in Zoom, which we're using Zoom, and we teach like all day. So it's literally as if students are in class from like bell to bell, from 8 o'clock until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, it's not watch this YouTube video or this pre-recorded video. Like we're doing live lessons every day, all day. Like there's the breakout rooms, but just trying to figure that out, and like not being able to see what the students are doing is just really kind of challenging to me. If you have tips on that, please leave them below. Help me out. And then we don't have a projector. So like we have these really nice Epson projectors where like you can write on the, like use your finger or whatever, write on the wall, that kind of thing. But because we're in a rented space, like we don't have the clearance to put our projectors up. So it's like the students who are at home, which is the majority of my class, are able to see like what's on my screen. But then the students who are like face to face, they can't see anything. So what I was doing was like having my student who's face to face like come up to the front where I am, kind of stand off to the side 6 feet, and be able to look on and see like what I'm doing on my document camera. But it's been really, really tricky. Our kindergarten teacher though told me yesterday that our principal is thinking about just getting monitors for everyone, which would be a huge help, because also then I wouldn't have to buy one for myself, which I wanted to do anyway. I didn't really want to buy a monitor, but like it would be really helpful to just be able to see the kids' faces on one screen and then like do what I need to do with my computer and like document camera, that kind of thing, on the other screen. That he will give me the wisdom, the know-how, the creativity. So I'm gonna end on a high note with a peak, and that is that I believe God has given me the gift to be able to teach. Am I the world's best teacher? No, like I am pretty self-aware, I know that. But I want to perfect the gift that he's given to me to stay in my lane and do what I can to be the best teacher that I can, especially in this time for my students. I'm trusting that God will give me the wisdom, the creativity, the know-how to just be the best teacher that I can be. And there is literally no one who's more creative than God. Like, he spoke and created the entire universe in 7 days. And so I'm just praying that the same creativity of God that I know is inside of me, like that he will give me those creative ideas and solutions to make the most and to make the best and to thrive even in a challenging situation. And so that was a little bit of that was a lot of my experience. This is a super long video. I hope that you enjoyed watching it. If you did, be sure to like the video by clicking the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I definitely appreciate that. It helps out a small channel like mine very much. And comment down below. Thanks a bunch for watching, guys, and I'll see you